So I'll reintroduce myself. My name is Megan Bloomingdale, and I'm the program coordinator for the EMT class here at North Seattle College. I wanted to start with a little video. Some of you may have seen it already if you've attended my sessions before. I think it's a good video that just introduces you to a lot of the opportunities that you might see presented to you if you do go about and get your EMT certification. So this is from one of our ambulance partners, but again, I think a pretty compelling video and just gives you a good snapshot of all the different things that you might choose to get into. I just really like that video because it shows you some of the options that you can get into. I would say it's probably 60% of my EMT students have decided that they want a career in public safety. So they want to be firefighters or paramedics, a few want to be police officers. That other 40% of my students want a career in healthcare, in medicine. And so these students are what they call pre-med bound. That's what they've self-identified as. They want to go to med school, they want to go to nursing school, they want to become physician's assistants. And becoming an EMT first really is an excellent stepping stone for that medical career. After one quarter, which is just 2.5 or 3 months, students are immediately eligible for their certification exam and immediately eligible for employment. And even though EMT is an entry-level job, the students again are immediately employable in direct patient care. And a lot of the med school applications and nursing school applications require that you have patient care experience to get into those programs. And so again, it's after about 3 months of training, you get your EMT certificate and you'll be taking care of patients. So though it's entry level and it doesn't pay a lot, right away you're taking care of patients, you're frontline providing medicine and taking care of patients. And it really does help your med school and nursing school applications. I'm going to share screen again because I do have the PowerPoint that colleges wanted us to share. So I just wanted to kind of go through this with you, and that way you can just kind of write some notes down if you want to. Feel free to take out your phone and take a screenshot. I know this will be posted just a little bit later for you. So we are 13 credit, again, 1 quarter certificate program. Our EMT class is 12 credits. The CPR class that happens the week before EMT is 1 credit for a 13 credit certificate. And I know in this region, most high school students are taking CPR, so they have their CPR certification. But we require healthcare provider CPR training. So we'll offer that class for 1 credit the week before EMT starts. The program is rigorous. You're in class about 16 to 20 hours per week, plus a lot of time outside of class, but you're already doing that. You're already working really hard at school. So it's rigorous. We do expect a lot, but it really is a short period of time. We offer the program every quarter. I don't recommend summer to most students because it's really an intense program in the summer. Rather than 12 weeks of school, we have 8 weeks of school, and it's 24 hours a week in class. So we just have to move very, very quickly throughout the material. Summer quarter is very competitive because we only offer 1. So though it's doable, we do. I generally recommend fall, winter, or spring quarters. Our entry requirements are simply based on the Washington State Department of Health requirements for EMT certification. So the entry requirements state that you have to be 18 years old, high school graduate or equivalent, and have a clean background check. I do have a little bit of wiggle room with that. I understand that many of you are high school students. And so just as a heads up, my wiggle room is we have these requirements based on the state's certification requirements. So if you're super close to 18, then we could allow you to be in the class because no time is really gonna lapse from when you get your certificate of completion from our college until you can be out working. So I often in spring quarter will have some high school students that are very like, I'm graduating in June and I'll be finishing with EMT in June as well. So that can work out. If you're only 16 though I would love to have you in class, it really wouldn't be a good use of your time and money because from when you're finished with our class, you have 1 year to get affiliated, to get hired with an agency to get your EMT certificate, or you have to go through some retraining. So if you're not close to 18 and not close to finishing high school yet, then I would want you to wait just a little bit so that you're not wasting your time. EMTs work in a variety of different areas and agencies. So fire departments in this region, all firefighters are EMTs. Some police departments have EMTs as well. Our search and rescue, many of the search and rescue members are EMTs. Ski Patrol has a lot of EMTs on staff as well. Some are volunteer and some are paid staff. All of our ambulances have EMTs working on them. Some emergency departments, and then some clinics as well. So a lot of different places that you can work and utilize these skills and get some patient care experience. Our EMT schedule, now this schedule here, if you're taking notes on it, this schedule is for our academic year. So fall class, which is September through December, winter class, which is January through March, spring class, which is April through June. So this is the schedule for that. And we offer 2 cohorts simultaneously. So you get to pick the schedule that you like best. Our more traditional model is our evenings and weekends, and that is Tuesday from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m., Thursdays from 6 to 10, and then all day Saturday. Our other option is just as popular now, it's just less traditional, and this is more of our daytime option. So a lot of students who want to keep their weekends free will choose this option. It's Mondays and Fridays from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and then Thursdays 6 to 10. And that again is for fall quarter, winter quarter, and spring quarter. If you're interested in summer, which starts mid-June, that model will be Tuesday and Thursday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., and then Saturday, 8:30 to 4:30. And again, that's for summer only. So Tuesday, Thursday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., and then Saturday, 8:30 to 4:30. So what are some of the things that you would learn in EMT class? Well, you learn how to take care of patients. You learn how to take care of people in medical emergencies, in life-threatening emergencies. So these might be medical emergencies, and it might be traumatic injuries as well, but will help you learn how to take care of people frontline. You would be that first responder to many of these patients, and then help stabilize your patients, make transport decisions, and then get them off to definitive care like the hospital. Some of the things that you'll learn are patient assessment. So that's going to be for medical patients and trauma patients as well. You learn vital signs, so how to take people's vital signs, and that would fall under patient assessment. You would learn cardiac arrest management, so CPR and AED. Again, you already probably have some of those skills from some of your classes in high school, but this would be at a healthcare provider level. You would learn oxygen administration. So there's different devices that we can give how we can give patients oxygen. We'll learn about medication administration. There are a handful of medications that EMTs in this region are authorized to give. And so we'll cover those protocols and how to do that. We'll cover bleeding control and shock management, so trauma emergencies. We'll cover and become experts in splinting. So that would be immobilization of a broken leg or a broken arm, an injured shoulder, things like that. We'll learn extrication extraction, so how to remove somebody safely from a dangerous situation, from a car accident, things like that. We'll learn spinal immobilization, so backboarding. We'll use a seated device, and we'll use a longboard device as well to take care of our patients. I mentioned earlier that many students use EMT as a stepping stone to get into the civil service public safety jobs. And so again, it's around 60% of my students want to be firefighters or paramedics, but some students prefer that career in medicine. So as I was mentioning earlier, that this is a great stepping stone towards medical school or nursing school, PA, emergency department technician. And there are some ambulance companies, many of them will hire paramedics as well. So you don't necessarily need to be a fire department paramedic. You could work for a private ambulance company as well. So a lot of options for you to grow in your career and move past this job. And one of the things I think is really good, again, I mentioned that right after class, you are immediately employable working on an ambulance. You could get hired immediately after school to work on an ambulance, and you're getting patient care experience. And you could be working for the ambulance at the same time that you're going to school. And that it helps get you further ahead in your goals quickly. Some educational pathways. If you were thinking that I don't want to stop with just a certificate or just an AA, some other things that you can transfer off to. If you're looking at the civil service or public safety route, North Seattle College, we have a fire science associate's degree. It's brand new, but it's really popular right now. And so your EMT certificate, the 13 credits for EMT, fits directly into that associate's degree for fire science. And then there is a criminal justice degree at Highland Community College as well. So if you're thinking that law enforcement route, that would be a good transfer. If you are interested in the career in medicine, which I have an assumption you are just based on what we're here for today, North Seattle College has an associate's degree of applied science in allied health, and your 13 credits of EMT fits directly into that associate's degree. Again, it's the Associates of Applied Science in Allied Health. And Seattle Central College has the Bachelor of Applied Science. You could choose healthcare management or community and health education. So what's expected? I always want to give a quick heads up, kind of some things are expected of you. If you chose to enter the EMT program, if you wanted to apply for it, we do have about a 1-hour information session. We do it twice every quarter, just for the upcoming quarter. And we make that mandatory just because it's important to us that all of our students come in eyes wide open. This isn't what I would call just an average college class where you can sign up, pay your tuition, show up a couple times, do some assignments and get a really great grade out of it. We are hands-on and we are intense. It's a lot of work. And I don't mean to sound elitist about an entry-level job, but very literally after this training, you could be making decisions that are life and death for your patients. And so attendance is mandatory, and we do have really high standards for some of the things that we do. So we are in class nearly full time. It's 194 hours of in-class time. Obviously, you've got to be studying and practicing outside of class. There are so many things that we have to cover to get you to be adequate at your skills. And really more than adequate, we want you to be excellent at your skills when you go to take care of people, when you go to take care of patients. And we have so much to cover in class that we have to move very, very quickly. So I'm certain that working and practicing outside of class is essential. Though I can't mandate your time outside of class, I can tell you without a doubt that if you're not practicing your skills outside of class, you just don't have enough reps and time to be successful in your skills testing. I've asked my students about how much time are you spending outside of class studying and practicing, and they estimate 5 to 10 hours per week. And I think 5 is a little bit low. So studying for the tests and then practicing the hands-on skills, they think around 10 hours per week outside of class. And so we move quickly. There's a lot to cover. I know if you work hard, you can be successful. We are all here to help you, but I want to make sure you come into this eyes wide open so that you're not thinking it would be easy. You have to put a lot of work into it, but you can do anything for 2.5 months, right? It's a short period of time in your life, and I know that you can do anything. All right, so I always get questions, well, can I do it? I've given you the schedule, so you'd certainly have to look at, does it fit into your life? Does it fit into your schedule? There are those 2 different options if you pick the academic year. And so I would say, yeah, You can do it. The cost is around $1,500. I think if you add the CPR class and the EMT class, we are a mostly fee-based class. And so a very, very small amount of what you pay is going to be state tuition. The rest is self-supporting fees. But I think it's $1,500, $1,548 and some change. About $1,500 is your out-of-pocket cost for that. Now, what are some ways that you can finance it and fund it? The only way that the EMT class is financial aid eligible if you use FAFSA financial aid is if you are in a degree seeking program. A 1/4 certificate program does not qualify for that financial aid. So you would have to be enrolled in a degree program such as the Associates in Allied Health or the Associates in Fire Science. So that's when your FAFSA financially would cover it. But there are other funding options as well. There are some scholarships that will pay for it. I know that I have to find it for you and I'm happy to email it to you. There is a Latina scholarship that qualifies for it. A Pride scholarship qualifies for it. Medic One Foundation, if you looked up Medic One Foundation online, they have a scholarship that is specific to the North Seattle EMT program, and they pay for 5 students every quarter to go to the EMT class as well. And Seattle Promise Dollars does pay for this as well. So you do have some different funding options. If you're a Seattle student, Seattle high school student right now, you should look into the Seattle Promise Dollars as well. Work-life balance. I always get that question, can I do it? Can I work full-time and take the class? Yes, most of my students work full-time and take the class. I get questions, well, I have little kids and I want a career change. Can I do the class with a family? Yes, you can do the class with a family. You're going to have to sacrifice something though. I suspect most of you don't have families and kids that you're supporting, but you can do it if you have family obligations. You just know that you're going to have to sacrifice something. Many of my students work full time and have some families, and they're doing this class as well. So certainly you're going to be tired if you have all these obligations. You're not going to have much of a social life if you have all these obligations. But again, it's 2.5, 3 months, and I'm certain that you can do it. You just have to prioritize your time and make sure you stay ahead on your studying. The equipment and materials, there are some things that you have to buy. There's about an $80 to $100 kit that you would have to buy unless you're able to put together some of your own supplies. You'll need your own blood pressure cuff, your own stethoscope, things like that, so that you can start to practice these skills and work through that. The Medic One Foundation scholarship does cover the cost for that as well. So if you want to apply for that Medic One Foundation scholarship, that would cover that. And there's a cheaper way that you can put it together. We recommend a third-party vendor that's a medical supply company in the area that you can purchase equipment from, or you could just put together your own kit if you wanted to get on Amazon and find a blood pressure cuff and a stethoscope, etc. So around $100, maybe a little bit less for that kit. Your textbook you'd have to buy, so that could be $100 to $200, but you can do cheaper options because you can rent them. You can download online versions of that. But other than your textbooks and the materials that you need, that student kit, there's not a lot of out-of-pocket costs. There's not clinical fees or anything like that. So again, right around that $1,500 is what you'd be paying for it. My contact information is down here, megan.bloomingdale@seattlecolleges.edu. And I'm happy to answer questions. We got plenty of time now. I can answer some questions for you now, or you could email me at any point. Our info sessions for the summer class are coming up mid to end of May. They're just going to be on Zoom. And then for our fall class, we haven't scheduled those yet, but those info sessions should happen on Zoom sometime in August. So as soon as we get those scheduled, we'll post them online. I would love to answer any questions if you guys have them. Let me stop my screen share and turn it over to you. If you have any questions, be happy to answer those.
Yes, I'm Miguel. I have a question.
Yeah.
So I have my high school degree from Brazil. So what do I need to do to join you guys?
So you already have you finished high school, right?
Yeah.
So easy. All you need to do is you'll have to attend one of the info sessions. So again, they happen at the end of May. That's on Zoom. And you'll study for the entrance test if you wanted the summer class. So we have an entrance exam. And in an email, I can do a cut and paste in an email if you shoot me your email address. I've got the information on what to study. It's a 50-question multiple choice exam based on emergency medical responder criteria. Emergency medical responder is EMR, and that's a level of certification underneath EMT. It's basically advanced first aid. And we just have decided that the most fair way to let people enroll in class is just take the top test scores, because we have the study material is easily accessible, and we want to make sure that people are set up for success. So step number one, apply to be a student at North Seattle College, which is free and you can do it online. Make sure you attend one of the information sessions, which is on Zoom. It will only take about an hour. And then make sure you're studying for that entrance exam. The entrance exam is by appointment only because we're trying to limit, just with social distancing, we're trying to just bring like 10 or 15 people into the room at the same time. So you get 1 hour to take 50 questions, multiple choice. That will be held on Wednesday, June 1st for the summer session. If you're interested in the fall session, we'll do that entrance exam sometime in September.
Okay. Do I need a GED?
You need your diploma or GED. You've have finished high school?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just a copy of your GED or diploma, whatever proof you have that you finished high school, but I don't need that until you go to register for class.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how can I become a firefighter once I get my EMT certificate?
Yeah, so you would just want to start testing for fire departments, and the fire science associate's degree that we have would be a really good step for you. If you don't want to go that academic route, I could still link you with some people. Some of our instructors in the fire science program are retired fire chiefs, and they've just made it their retirement mission to help young men and women who want to be firefighters kind of get into this career. So I can make that connection for you. I think that you should look into the fire science degree as well, though that one's just academic. That's what the fire departments in our region have wanted. But we've got an internship component. You'll get a chance to work with other firefighters and really get some advice and some tips and advice on how to start that career.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm on Wednesday, today's Monday, right? On Wednesday, I'm doing this session again for our fire science program.
Oh.
Yeah, great questions. I'd love to have you, but I think if you're certain you want to do firefighting, I would suggest the fire science degree.
Okay.
Yeah, and the EMT is part of that. We recommend the EMT class happen at the end of your fire science degree.
Mm-hmm.
You certainly could do it early, but you have to be working to keep your EMT certificate. So you need to make a decision. Do you want to be working as an EMT while you're taking the fire classes? And most of the fire classes are online, so that's totally fine. I would recommend working at the same time that you're in school. But if you want to just be a student and not work, it doesn't make sense for you to take EMT early. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Because if you don't work as an EMT right away, you'll lose that certification. You have to retake the class again. So I don't want you to start with it and then 2 years later have to take it again.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. All right, looks like there is a great question here. I'm just going to read it out loud because I want everyone to get it. To confirm, we can get the training for the advanced first aid training as part of the course and do not have to do it externally. So I just want to make sure that I'm clear about that. EMT is, of course, an advanced first aid training. The pre-test, our entrance exam, is just based on that material. So you don't have to go and take any first aid class prior to entering EMT class. We just have some study material based on that curriculum that you would study for the entrance exam. So I hope that's clear, but please ask questions if it's not. You don't do advanced first aid training prior to EMT class. That's just your study material. And there's a textbook on the EMR level, emergency medical responder level, that you can download. There are a couple free versions of it that you can download. So that would just simply be to prepare for the entrance exam. And yes, you would be successful at the entrance exam based on studying the textbook.
Quick question.
Yeah.
So you mentioned external study, right? About or preferably like around 10 hours per week. What does that kind of look like? You know, because I want to get a better idea of how we're kind of advised to practice these skills.
Yeah, so we'll teach you how to, like, patient assessment. You'll have a patient who's lying down on the floor, and then you have to assess them for injuries or signs of illness. So we'll teach you those skills, but then you need to practice it outside of class just to make sure that you can do it quickly and adequately. So if you've got roommates, if you've got partners, if you've got family members, like these folks just lay there and they let you kind of go through that, you'll be paired up into small groups that our class calls companies. So you'll be in these small companies or platoons, and so you'll have kind of like you'll have study groups as well. And so then within your study group, you'll just choose where to meet. Some groups meet in each other's homes, some groups meet at the library, some groups they just come to class an hour early and they find space on campus to do that. But you'll need to practice it. We'll teach you how to take somebody's blood pressure, and you'll have your own blood pressure cuff. So you've got to practice doing that. And so again, it's whoever you can get to sit still long enough. It's your friends, it's your family, it's your partners, whatever you need to do. So we'll teach you the skills and then you go home and practice them.
Thank you. That makes sense.
Yeah, great. Well, it's so great to meet you both. I hope that I see you again soon, but let me know if you have any more questions. You can feel free to email me. And sounds like you guys each have kind of a different route that you want to travel, but I think that would be great to start with EMT for both of you.
Yeah, thank you.